they invented a way to make billions of dollars disappear without stealing a single one. In 2001, it took just 3 weeks to go from most innovative company in America to bankrupt. 20,000 jobs gone. Life savings wiped out overnight. This is the story of Enron, the company that got Wall Street to applaud a magic trick right up until the curtain fell. Houston, 1985. Kenneth Lay, the son of a Baptist preacher from rural Missouri, merges two boring pipeline companies into one slightly less boring one. He calls it Enron. On paper, it moves natural gas through pipes. Simple, profitable, forgettable. Lay didn't want forgettable. He wanted a revolution. So in 1990, he hired a McKinsey consultant named Jeffrey Skilling, a man so obsessed with being the smartest person in every room that he once had his IQ tested, just to prove it out loud. Skilling looked at Enron's pipelines and asked one question.
Why are we selling gas like it's the
1950s? His answer changed everything. Stop treating energy like a physical product. Start treating it like a financial one. Buy and sell energy contracts the way Wall Street trades stocks. No pipes required, just paper and nerve. The board loved it. But Skilling wanted one more thing. A way to book the profits before they actually existed. Enter mark-to-market accounting. Here's the trick, stripped of the jargon. Sign a 20-year energy contract today, and instead of recording the profit as it trickles in over 20 years, you estimate the entire future value and book it all right now. This quarter, this year, you haven't earned the money. You've just decided you will. The SEC approved it in 1992. And Enron ran with it like a kid who'd just been told lying was legal. As long as you called it a projection, profits exploded on paper. Stock climbed. Fortune magazine crowned Enron America's most innovative company, 6 years running. Employees dumped their retirement savings into company stock because why wouldn't you bet on a rocket ship? But paper profits don't pay real bills. And Enron had a growing pile of real debt it desperately needed to hide. That's where Andrew Fastow comes in, the CFO with a gift for financial engineering, and apparently a soft spot for Star Wars. He built a web of shell companies to shovel Enron's debt off the books entirely. He named them Chuco, G-I, real corporate filings, Star Wars nicknames. Nobody in Houston thought that was a red flag. Somehow, these special purpose entities existed for one job: make Enron's balance sheet lie beautifully. Debt vanished into the shells, losses got buried, and Fastow personally pocketed tens of millions running them. A walking, talking conflict of interest that regulators somehow missed for years. By 2000, Enron's stock hit $90 a share. The company was valued at $70 billion. Skilling was CEO. Lay was chairman. And at company parties, executives literally toasted to being the smartest guys in the room. They weren't wrong about being smart. They were wrong about everything else. Cracks started as whispers. A financial journalist ran the numbers and couldn't figure out, in plain terms, how Enron actually made money. Not wouldn't, couldn't. If a trained analyst can't explain your business model, that's not innovation. That's a warning label. Inside the company, one executive saw it too. Sharon Watkins, a VP, wrote a private memo to Ken Lay, warning that Enron might, in her words, implode in a wave of accounting scandals. Lay had lawyers review it. The lawyers said there was no real problem here. There was a very real problem here. By October 2001, the dominoes started falling. Enron restated its earnings, wiping out $586 million in previously reported profits that, it turned out, had never really existed. The stock that once traded at $90 was suddenly worth less than $1. Employees watched their 401ks, locked into company stock, unable to sell, evaporate in real time. Auditor Arthur Andersen, the firm supposed to be checking Enron's math, was instead shredding documents by the truckload once investigators started circling. That single decision didn't just sink Enron's credibility. It ended Arthur Andersen as a company. One of the Big Five accounting firms, gone, because they chose the shredder over the truth. December 2nd, 2001. Enron files for bankruptcy. At the time, it's the largest corporate bankruptcy in American history. 20,000 employees lose their jobs in a single stroke. Many lose their entire retirement on the same day. The men at the top, their landings were softer. Andrew Fastow pled guilty, testified against his former bosses, and served 6 years. Jeffrey Skilling was convicted on 19 counts and sentenced to 24 years, later reduced to 14 after a plea deal in 2013. Kenneth Lay was convicted too, on all counts. He died of a heart attack before he ever spent a day in prison. And because he died before sentencing, his conviction was technically wiped from the record. The architect of the whole thing left with a clean legal slate and a closed casket. Out of the wreckage came Sarbanes-Oxley, new federal law forcing executives to personally certify their company's financial statements on penalty of prison. Every CEO in America suddenly had a very personal reason to know what mark-to-market accounting actually meant. Enron didn't just fail, it became a word. Say that company's in Enron today, and everyone in the room knows exactly what you mean. Genius on the surface, fiction underneath. And maybe that's the real trick they pulled. Not the shell companies, not the accounting. The real trick was convincing an entire industry that complexity equals brilliance. That if nobody can understand how you're making money, you must be a genius, not a fraud. 20 years later, Wall Street still funds the founders nobody can quite explain. Maybe we didn't learn the lesson Enron was trying to teach us. Maybe we just learned to admire the trick a little more quietly. If you enjoyed this story, let us know in the comments. Do you think we actually learned anything from Enron? And for more stories like this, don't forget to hit subscribe.